And here to react is counselor to President Trump, Alina Habba. Great to have you with us, counselor. My sister, if I could personalize this, a fairly outstanding junior amateur athlete. And so this is a topic that is near and dear to me, and I think to millions of Americans. When the president responded to the governor saying, yeah, we'll see you in court, what'd you think of that?
I mean, I was his lawyer, as we know, so it was really, I mean, is there anybody who's more savage? Can we just say it like it is? He's just so, he knocked her right down. I mean, she was trying to rebel, and she didn't know what she was talking about, and she goes, we will comply with the law. I made the law. I told you what it is, and this is the mandate. And more importantly, it's really not President Trump. It's what America wanted and voted for. So when you see this, honestly, this exchange is exactly why he won. This is exactly why he won. It could not have been summarized better.
Yeah, it's definitely like 10% of the people agree with her and 90% with Donald Trump on just the sensibility of this and just defending our girls. People are just sick of this small minority bullying their way into women's sports. Here was her response, Alina. She went on to give a statement that said, in America, the president is neither a king nor a dictator, as much as this one tries to act like it. And it is the rule of law that prevents him from being so. But do not be misled. This is not just about who can compete on the athletic field. This is about whether a president can force compliance with his will. Without regard for the rule of law that governs our nation, I believe he cannot. Your response to that?
Right. So maybe we should watch Stephen Miller's civics lesson again, where he educated everybody on the fact that 77 million people voted for this person. He is king in no way. He is president in every way. So they keep using words. It's like unbelievable. What does she want? Does she want a 17 presidents that are tenured forever and can't leave? Does she want the Nancy Pelosi's, Chuck Schumer's? Yes, she does. In her ideal world, they would all sit behind the Resolute desk and they would then say, we don't have one king, we have democracy. No, that's not it. President Trump represents 77 million people. Every state in this country said, we want Trump. And then he went out and did exactly what we said at rallies, exactly what we campaigned on, and the panic is real. It's real, and it's quite honestly quite enjoyable to watch. I mean, we're winning in court. Their attacks on Elon, it's all desperation, and it's going nowhere.
I love, Alina, that you mentioned that civics lesson by Stephen Miller. I went right to that as well. And it's funny, the governor says in her statement, she's talking about compliance when it's pretty clear what she wants to participate in is what I call malfeasant compliance, malicious compliance. But it's not clear she has legal standing even to make this lawsuit. We'll see where that goes. Before we run out of time, though, I do want to get to Attorney General Pam Bondi is now vowing to release the bombshell Jeffrey Epstein document. She says it's sitting on her desk. Here's a little bit of what she had to say. Listen.
This is something Donald Trump has talked about. The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So have you seen anything that you said, oh my gosh?
Not yet.
Alina, do you have any insight on what's coming?
Transparency. Transparency is coming. You know, we had a lot of defiance, I think is the word you were looking for, from the radical left, and that's because they would have rather us kept quiet. They didn't want to expose the funding that they were getting through NGOs, through USAID, and now they're going to panic because they don't want anybody to know who was on Epstein's Island, who was a pedo, and who is probably still sitting in D.C. And the reality of the situation is this: there will be accountability, and America deserves it. We needed to know what the drones are. We needed to know that we were okay. We need to know about Epstein's Island. We want to know about JFK. The days of American government hiding from American people are over. We need transparency. We have done that, and we will continue to do so. I'm excited for Pam and now Cash to get in there and clean up our mess.
Well, Alina, you
What's
talked
behind
about
January 6th, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Want to see what's behind January 6th as well. You talked about panic before when she said she had the file on her desk. I think there's a lot of people in panic now, but I think you're absolutely right, Alina. This is how you restore trust in government. With transparency and with these secrets that don't need to be secrets, the American people need to know. Alina, it's so great to have you on as always.
Thanks, Rachel. Thanks,
You
guys.
got it.